A Fox 5 I-Team investigation has found Senator David Perdue bought stock in a regional bank that benefited from legislation Senator Perdue supported and helped write.
Now, the senator, who says his portfolio is handled by an outside firm, says he has been investigated and cleared for his buying and selling of stocks. A senior I-Team reporter, Del Russell, has the inside story.
These are local banks, credit unions, regional banks.
In March of 2018, U.S. Senator David Perdue urged fellow members of the Senate Banking Committee to support a bill rolling back Obama-era regulations on smaller regional and community banks.
I encourage every member of this body to think seriously about this and to support this bill in final passage.
The I-Team found in May of 2017, 10 months prior to this public speech, Perdue began buying stock in a regional bank that stood to benefit from the legislation. This according to his campaign disclosures. Regions Financial Corporation is Birmingham, Alabama based and serves customers across the South, Midwest, and Texas, according to its website. Is there any problem with this in your mind from an ethical point of view?
The short answer to that question is yes.
Professor Edward Queen is a faculty member at the Emory Center for Ethics.
The failure of the legislatures to regulate and control themselves is a driving factor, I would argue, in the decrease in trust in the political process in the United States.
Purdue's spokesperson told us Senator Perdue doesn't handle the day-to-day decisions of his portfolio. All of his holdings are managed by outside financial advisors. Though the New York Times, quoting an anonymous source, earlier reported Perdue retained some degree of discretion over which trades were made and when. According to Perdue's financial disclosures, between May and November of 2017, when a possible bill that would help banks like Regions was publicly announced, Perdue began buying between $11,000 and $165,000 worth of Regions Financial Corporation stock. We don't know the exact amount because congressional financial disclosure reports give only a broad range.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal for our country.
In May of 2018, when President Donald Trump signed the bill rolling back what was known as the Dodd-Frank regulations on smaller banks, Regions Financial Corporation was hailed in news reports as one of the bill's big winners.
And I pledged that we would rescue these community banks from Dodd-Frank, the disaster of Dodd-Frank. And now we are keeping that commitment.
The new law meant only the country's largest banks, deemed too big to fail, would have their balance sheets scrutinized by the Fed, easing rules and regulations on smaller banks like Regions Financial Corporation. Senator Perdue continued to buy Regions stock. In total, between May of 2017 and December of 2018, he bought Regions stock 26 times. In October of 2019, Perdue sold thousands of those shares of Regions stock. According to his disclosure report, the two-day sell-off was valued between $115,000 and $300,000.
This is about the people of the United States against crooks like you in Washington, too busy enriching yourself while you're in office.
In the past few months, Senator Perdue has come under attack from his opponent, John Ossoff, for other stock trades he made. And various media outlets have questioned Perdue's buying and selling of stocks while in office.
Senator Perdue welcomed a full review of his stock trades.
To answer his critics, Perdue released this ad in a statement to the I-Team saying he was investigated by the Justice Department and others, and they cleared him of any and all wrongdoing. The ad does not say whether Regions Financial Corporation was part of that investigation. His spokesperson wrote, John Ossoff continues to push a categorically discredited line of attack on Senator Perdue, despite the evidence that his accusations are entirely baseless. Professor Queen thinks these kind of issues would all disappear if all legislators put their holdings in a blind trust.
People have to believe that the people's representatives are acting in a way that's for the good of the American public and not arguably for their own good.
Dale Russell reporting. Regions Bank responded to our request for a comment by saying, as a publicly traded company, we do not control who purchases company stock, so we have no further information to share.